The man never imagined that his once dull life would be completely turned upside down after bringing the white-haired elf from another world into reality. His thoughts were consumed by Mary, and all his attention shifted to her. While exploring the dungeon and discovering a hidden path, Mary couldn't get official approval due to her low rank at the Mage Association. Little did they know, the magical artifact the man had received from the Dragon Mage was constantly monitoring all movements in the human world. Soon, the two found themselves back in the real world, this time through sleep. It was another typical workday for the man, but he and Mary had promised to figure out how to get approval for their dungeon exploration. Once the man left, Mary transformed into a housemaid. She was surprised by the convenience of certain tools in this world, just a couple of swipes with the MOP, and the floor was spotless. She then decided to try cooking lunch, mimicking the man's techniques. Meanwhile, the man was on the train, thinking about Mary. Although the thief hadn't succeeded, the man realized that on his own, he couldn't protect Mary during a fight. After all, they were both offensive types. Back at home, Mary, having learned from the man, heated up her favorite pork cutlet rice from the oven. She also discovered one of the most unique things about this world: eating while watching her favorite videos. At the same time, the man sat at his desk, chewing on a piece of bread and imagining what it would be like to eat together with Mary at home. Suddenly, he noticed that the bread tasted different from usual. Just then, a message came from Zunzi, inviting the man and Mary out for a meal. While waiting, the man took Mary to a cafe, where she experienced the bitter taste of coffee for the first time. Adding sugar, the taste contrasted sharply with the bitterness, and Mary instantly fell in love with this new drink. The man was pleased to see her so happy. Mary had noticed that lately, the man kept smiling at her. Though he explained it was just because he was captivated by her, she couldn't help but feel vulnerable, especially when he suddenly attacked her with his affections. She was well aware of his tendency to say cheesy things, but oddly enough, she didn't mind. During their casual conversation, Zunzi and her husband, Ichio, arrived at the cafe. When Ichio saw Mary greet him, he was left standing in place, stunned. It was no surprise the man had been so mesmerized by her. Since Zunzi had organized the gathering, Ichio had already made a reservation at a French restaurant. Although it was nice to show Mary something new, the moment the man saw the prices on the menu, he nearly emptied his wallet. Mary, on the other hand, was fascinated by the neat and elegant table setting, which made her feel as though she were in another world, surrounded by nobility. But when the main course arrived, it completely shattered her understanding of fine dining. Zunzi couldn't believe that such close friends were actually just distant relatives. After the meal, they stepped outside, where Zunzi invited Mary to visit her house anytime during the man's work hours to watch anime. As they parted ways, Mary thanked the man for bringing her to this world. At first, she had been too afraid to even have a proper conversation with him, but now she realized that things weren't as she had originally thought.